What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is John. Today, a big box good. The Meeting Mate by Ion, a portable Bluetooth speaker for the home and office I picked up at Best Buy for $79.99. Today, an unboxing, a first impressions, and a test. Without further ado, let's see just how good of a job this does at performing both in the office and in a home setting. A little bit confusing is the fact it's designed for the home and office. It's actually a portable speaker with a built-in microphone. Unlike other portable speakers on the market, which have built-in microphones, this is designed specifically to sit either on a table and provide room filling sound, or also act as maybe a hub for meetings, maybe during a conference. Without further ado, let's get into this unboxing, first impressions, and test of the Ion Meeting Mate I picked up at Best Buy for $79.99. Okay, a quick general overview. Here in front of us is the Meeting Mate. This is Ion. What I suspect is a generic Best Buy brand, much like Insignia, just maybe rebranded to Ion. Insignia still available, but Ion, I've noticed recently, has taken over Insignia as the generic portable Bluetooth speaker for Best Buy. So let's go ahead and take a look. This is particularly interesting because, like I said, it's actually designed to sit on the desk. It comes with a stand, but offers, according to the package and according to the claims, room filling sound, multiple EQ settings, LED lights, which are features we've seen on portable speakers in the past. It has a rechargeable battery. You can take it with you. The only difference between this portable speaker slash microphone is the fact it lacks any type of IP rating. So strictly for the home or the office, not meant to take to the beach, even though it is a portable speaker. Let's get into the box and explore some of these features. One interesting feature, like I said, is it comes with a stand. So stand this up maybe on the kitchen counter, or maybe in the middle of a table in a conference room, so that during a live conversation, everybody can hear and pitch in. First thing is first, opening the box for the first time. It's a fairly simple experience. The speaker in the middle and the stand on the side, and what I presume to be a user manual. Let's go ahead and get everything out and organized and take a better look. Okay, so like I said, opening the box for the first time, you get just a few simple items, easy to put together, simple to understand. At the very left, you get a user manual. In this package, you also get with it a USB to micro USB charging cable. Pretty self-explanatory getting this up and running. It should be similar to that of other speakers. Of course, you can see the speaker for yourself. It's a sort of triangular shape. It's got this heather material on top. Again, much like other portable speakers, the nice part actually is because it's entirely mesh, it should do a fine job of cutting down on reverberation, say in an office room or a conference room. It should make speaking into this clear and concise without the added echo. Of course, at the top, because it has a built-in microphone and because it's called the Meeting Mate, it's in the name, it belongs on the desk or in a conference room, it's important that it has a mute button. So what's really nice is, unlike other portable speakers that you can also call or talk over, this is different because it has a mute button. It also comes with an EQ setting, which you can probably adjust. We'll check that feature out. We'll also test it out on the iPhone playing music, trying out different EQ settings. We'll see just how similar the EQ settings are on this speaker to what you can choose on your iPhone. Of course, you get a Bluetooth connect button. What I appreciate here are how tactile and clicky the buttons are. We get a power button, simple enough. Play, pause, minus, and plus to adjust the volume. These buttons probably double as fast forward or rewind if listening to music, and most importantly, answering or declining phone calls or hanging them up. And last but most importantly not least, in the box, like I said, this can stand on the table or in the middle of a table in a conference room. So in the box is an included plastic base to match. You can see that the gray of the base and the gray of the speaker are relatively the same. And of course, like I said earlier, telling by the base, actually you can see that the speaker itself is this sort of triangular shape, which is also interesting for several reasons. We'll point that out here momentarily. Okay, pairing the speaker for the first time, simply hold down the power button. It should go directly into pairing mode. In the app, you just hit the plus icon at the bottom right-hand corner. It searches for a speaker nearby. Let's see how quickly it takes. And meeting mate comes up. We can pair it and click finish. Now, typically when I review speakers, I judge them based on how easily they connect with an app or without the app. You can see it comes up right at the bottom of your Bluetooth, either Meeting Mate, BLE, or just simply Meeting Mate. A little bit confusing, but let's go ahead and click
Bluetooth connected.
Meeting Mate, and as you can see, it connects. Okay, now before testing the speaker further, one minor complaint setting it up for the first time is the app itself. In the Ion app, of course, after connecting it, it shows on the screen in the app, but trying to access additional settings, you'll notice that the app crashes, it's buggy. It does offer additional settings. Luckily for us, the most important ones are actually at the top of the speaker, such as the mute, the EQ, the Bluetooth, and all of its basic functions used to enable the speaker to do different things. So even though it's a little bit buggy, the application, and not able to access any of the features on the smartphone through the application, still lucky that we have physical buttons. So good news, not entirely a ripoff or entirely gimmicky. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other features and then stick around at the end for the sound test and microphone test. Okay, now before the sound impressions and microphone impressions, most importantly, let's take just a closer look and talk about just the overall build quality, the fit and finish, and some of the physical features and extremities. First and foremost, you can see that it's roughly 1.5 feet long. It's actually longer than it is wider. It's roughly maybe 3/4 of an inch in circumference. Like I said, it's a triangular shape, not pocketable, but you could easily slide this into a backpack or some kind of briefcase or carrying case and take it with you. Now on the back side of the speaker, of course, you can see some of the additional features here. It's kind of hard to see on the main camera, so let's actually just take a handheld close-up look. You get some regulation information. You can tell that it's Bluetooth because of the Bluetooth indicator at the bottom there. But okay, let's get into some of the cool and interesting features. So not an office type feature, that it actually comes with an LED light, which as you can see is enabled via this LED light button. No strobes or flashes. It looks like this one might change color, but for the most part, you can either set the brightness or turn the LED light off. Not sure if the LED light acts as maybe a notification for when calls come in, or maybe if you have this connected to a cell phone, it lights up. Don't think that's the case. I think they probably would have advertised that if that was true. And last but not least, like I said, a close-up look here, you get what looks to be an audio in port. It's an aux port. It's a 3.5mm port. And then of course, to charge it, you get the micro USB to USB. Speaking of the LED light at the bottom, what's actually kind of unfortunate actually is laying it on the table, you can see that it shines great from behind the speaker, which would be awesome if it also shined at the front of the speaker. So the LED light, as you can see, not visible from the front of the speaker, which is kind of interesting and rather unfortunate because the buttons, as you can see, are aligned. Why the LED indicator light is a feature but invisible at the back of the speaker and not visible at the front of the speaker, as you can see, like I said, just a little bit strange perhaps, but unfortunate, because why even have it on the speaker and why even advertise it if having the speaker facing in the right direction, the LED light doesn't even shine. Okay, now, so like I've said in previous segments multiple times, the meeting mate is meant to stand in the middle of a conference table, which is why it comes with the included base. So it's a triangular base. The speaker itself is triangular. You can set the speaker in the base a variety of ways. It doesn't matter which way, though you'll find out quickly that trying to charge the speaker or maybe connect it via an aux cable is impossible if you put it in the wrong way. So at the back, of course, you can see you want it set so that the 3.5mm cable and also the micro USB cable are accessible, which, as you can see at the back of the stand, there is a cutout so that you can access them, the LED button. Now, what actually makes this design interesting, like I said, the LED light at the back of the speaker, not visible if the speaker is off the stand and resting or sitting on the feet. But what's really cool is, even though, like I said, you could probably have this in the center of a table in your boardroom, maybe instead have this up against the wall to create some kind of ground effect or mood lighting. Okay, now that we've done the unboxing, the first impressions, and a quick overview, we've taken a look at the build quality. Of course, let's test the sound quality, but first and most importantly, let's test the microphone quality. So in the name, of course, it's the meeting mate. It's great for at the center of a conference room table. It comes with the stand. It's got this really cool triangular shape that actually allows people to sit around it. Like I said, one downside is one side of the triangle doesn't have speakers or a microphone, but still is good enough, I think, that most or majority of the people sitting around it can hear and speak into it. So the first test before the sound test is a microphone test. So in the recordings app on the iPhone here, we've got the speaker connected to Bluetooth, should act as the microphone, just like having your AirPods or maybe a pair of headphones or any other type of microphone connected. Let's go ahead and hit the record button, speak into the speaker, and then we'll actually disconnect it from Bluetooth, speak into the phone once more, do a different recording, and then compare the results. Okay guys, this is a test of the Ion Meeting Mate portable Bluetooth speaker for the home and office. What's really cool about this speaker is the triangular design, and of course, holding the iPhone up to my mouth, it'll probably come out with a phenomenal result. But let's actually, instead of comparing how clear the Ion is compared to the iPhone, because like I said, holding it up to my mouth, I should get amazing results. Let's actually compare maybe noise canceling benefits of the Ion speaker compared to the iPhone. So it comes with a LED light at the back for mood lighting. Set this up in the corner of the room up against the wall and get a really cool lighting effect. Let's stick around and hear what the difference is. Okay, now that we've done the microphone test, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did you like the outcome of the Meeting Mate when speaking into it versus the iPhone? Of course, the advantage to the Meeting Mate is it's a wider array. It's got a speaker and microphone on each side compared to, say, for example, having your iPhone in the middle of a table. It won't pick up sound as clearly. But, okay, now that we've tested that, let's actually test the speaker aspect. So a royalty-free song, we'll test it out and also test some of the EQ settings. Stick around to hear the difference between the EQ settings, and then at the end for my first impressions, just how loud and clear this sounds at the highest volume and at medium volume. Okay, at 50% volume, first impressions between 3 different EQ settings. And by the way, because the app doesn't work, I was unable to tell what EQ setting is which, and also how many different EQ settings there are, but clicking the button 3 times, I was able to tell a slight difference, or at least one minor difference. So I think you might remember it sounded pretty flat, it sounded pretty clear. And then once I clicked the button the first time, it actually switched over to what sounded to me like a bass booster. It sounded just a little bit thumpier, a little bit heavier, and a little bit bolder. Otherwise, once I clicked the button again and then again, I was not able to tell the difference. So like I said, because the app doesn't work, I couldn't tell how many different EQ settings there were, but I was able to tell a difference between how it sounded when I first turned it on and added bass once I clicked the button the first time. Okay, let's listen to this at 100% volume. And at 100% volume, you can hear that it sounds phenomenal. It's loud, it's clear, no creaking or crackling. Really, speaking of the overall quality, it doesn't sound tinny or scratchy at 100%, which is good to hear. And most importantly, I think you heard, because it was at 100%, you also heard the change in EQ from the sort of flat to the bass booster, which actually did a phenomenal job. It really came out, I think, over the microphone. You could probably tell the difference between when I first started playing the song till the bass booster. Now, one interesting feature I noticed walking around the room was that at the front of the speaker, it's louder and clearer than at the back of the speaker. So, like I was saying earlier, one of my biggest complaints was that actually the bottom of the speaker, because it's facing down and has these rubber nibs, because it doesn't have speakers or microphones, it really doesn't make any sense usefully to use this at a conference, but it does sound okay listening to music. So perhaps I was incorrect in thinking that the bottom of the speaker is null and void, when in fact it may just be the side of the speaker that is null and void. Even though I tested the EQ setting on the speaker only and not in Apple Music, I do expect the EQ settings in Apple Music to have an effect. This, I can tell, has a wide and varied soundstage. I know that because at 100% volume, you can tell the difference between bass boost and flat. So with that being said, I think overall at $80, not only does this make a great desk mate or meeting mate, it also makes a great and versatile portable speaker. Anyways, guys, that has been an unboxing, a first impressions, quick look and test of the Ion Meeting Mate portable Bluetooth speaker for the home and office. What makes this a good option for the office is, of course, it can stand up in the middle of a conference table, and because of its triangular shape, people can listen from either side and speak from either side. And because it's Bluetooth, no wires or clutter. You can even have drinks on the table. No IP rating, so even though it's a portable speaker for either the home or the office, for the home, it's meant for indoor use only, not by the pool, around water, at the beach, camping, things like that. If it rains, take this inside. It's not meant to be wet. Okay, so like I said, we talked about its features. We gave it a quick look. I love the design of this speaker. It's built well. We also tested the music and audio reproduction, and what I found was that even though all sides of the speaker are easy to speak into and easy to listen out of, it does sound a little bit biased towards the front of the speaker. That being said, at 100% volume, it produced accurate sounds and has a wide and varied soundstage. I think as you heard, changing from one EQ setting to the next, you can hear it change from a sort of flat, loud, neutral setting to a thumpier, richer, bassier setting. So perhaps maybe 2 EQ settings here, not sure, because like I said, the downside is that the app kept crashing. But that being said, because it's for the home and the office, maybe at the office, have it set to flat, and then when you go home, press the EQ button once more to activate Bass Booster, which should make it better for listening to music and filling the room with music. Anyways, guys, with that being said, I think this is a phenomenal product. It's a great idea. Not sure how I feel about a separate bass. If you're buying this for just home use, maybe look somewhere else. Otherwise, you'll have just a plastic bass sitting around. That being said, it's a little bit confusing because if you're buying it for the office, why is it marketed for the home? So, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's an interesting idea. It's a portable Bluetooth speaker. You can talk into it, take calls on it, listen to music on it, just like all other portable Bluetooth speakers. But for some reason, Ion decided to make this suitable for sitting in a conference room, standing it up on a table in the middle of the table so that people can speak into it and listen from it. Like I said, just a little bit interesting that it's got 2 different use cases. One use case sort of plays the role of other portable Bluetooth speakers on the market, and the other use case takes over pretty much the conference speaker space. So why not just go and buy a conference room speaker microphone? With that being said, it still sounds great. You can hear for yourself the results between the iPhone microphone test and the Ion Bluetooth speaker microphone test. And of course, you heard first and foremost how it sounds at 100% volume with Bass Booster and flat, and 50% volume with Bass Booster and flat. It did a phenomenal job. It's a good quality speaker from what I can hear. My name is John. Thanks again so much for tuning into this unboxing and first impressions. Because I picked this up at Best Buy, that does make this a big box good. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified when I post to YouTube. And of course, share this video with friends and family as well as the channel. My name is John. Thanks again so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next video.